What's going on, everybody? On my X, coming back at you. Episode 11 now. We're on episode 11. It's actually kind of crazy to say. But Goofy here, Faisal Khan, joined by the regular crew. We got Clutch, a.k.a. Wes Price. How you doing, Wes? How's your week been?
What's going on? It's been a long week. I'm exhausted, but I got enough time for On My X left in my Sunday, and then I'm going to bed. But doing good, making it. So we made it to On My X, so that's the goal every week, right? Get to Sunday night.
Exactly. And also we have Hunter JJX, Justin Joseph. How you doing, man? How's your week been?
It's been good, man. It's been a pretty long week, but I'm glad to be here. Episode 11. Crazy to break the 10 mark. I'm kind of offended though. You just called us the regular crew. I don't think there's anything regular about this crew at all. You know, you guys are extraordinary individuals. Glad to be back for another episode of On My X.
Wow. Starting off with some compliments. I like
we got a national champion. You know, we got a weekly champ.
Honestly, I couldn't think of the right. I wish I could redo that, but we're already into the intro, so I'm not going to redo it. But yeah, I couldn't think of the better. I was like the regular crew. I should have said something cooler, but maybe next time.
Hey, that's what episodes 12 is for. That's why you
exactly. We'll bounce back.
Fine tuning. We got a lot of. We're still noobs. We're figuring it out.
Yeah, we got a lot of good stuff in this episode for you guys. I'm gonna give it on over to Hunter, and he's gonna introduce our special guest for this week. Last week we brought you Frosty. You know, the legend that is Frosty, and the great interview we had with him. And this week we got somebody else that's special. So, Hunter, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, if you got, like you said, we had Frosty last week. So if you haven't seen that, pause this video right now. Go watch that episode with Frosty. Then come back and jump in for this one. Or watch it after. But you'd forget. No. Pause this one, go watch it, come back. Whatever you want to do. But yeah, we kind of decided on my X, we're just going to get guests whenever, because we have so many friends in the Halo community, so many people we wanted to hear from and hang out with. So we're just going to kind of be throwing people at the screen for you guys. So we're really excited, honestly, this week. It's an absolute honor. I couldn't be more excited of who we have joining us this week for On My X episode 11. We've got aPG Bradley himself. Say what's up to the people. Come on, man.
Yo, what's going on?
How you doing, brother? Thanks for joining us, man.
I'm chilling. How's it going?
Good, man. Well, first of all, obviously gotta, first things first, congratulate you, man, on the Envy signing. So freaking sick. We saw some big roster announcements over the last couple of weeks in the HCS Cloud9, obviously. Now we have Envy jumping in. It's awesome to see that. How you feeling about repping the boys in blue here?
Well, first, thank you. And I'm more than happy to have a new home. I'm happy to have a team and to feel comfortable going in the future and Infinite, and the support that they're going to have behind us and my teammates as well. So I'm happy.
So aPG, I wanted to get in here. Yeah, first of all, congratulations are in order. You know, you guys bringing in a huge brand and huge team name. One familiar in the Halo community. You know, those guys, Pistola and Trippy, and even Sand were on that team in the past. It's exciting that they're back in Halo, and I think you guys are going to be one of the top rosters. So congratulations for that. Now, I wanted to ask you, being on Sentinels, kind of being that person that stepped in when Frosty switched over to Call of Duty. Obviously, now you're onwards and upwards, looking at your new team, but kind of taking a look back, what was it like playing with those guys? I know you guys are all really good friends, but trying to fill in for someone like Frosty, who has made such a big impact in the Halo community. What was your mindset playing with those guys, and how did you kind of feel throughout that process?
Well, first when they approached me, that was kind of very humbling. It was kind of, they approached me before the last Halo 5 event even. So when they knew Frosty was leaving prior, they came to me before the last event and asked me, Snakebite asked me via Skype before a scrim the week before the event, Atlanta, he asked me when my contract was up. And then when he asked me that, that got me excited for the future. And then even Halo 3 being announced, that got me even more excited. But filling in for Frosty, it wasn't too much pressure, I would say. It was I had a lot of fun. So I was just looking forward to it. I had a lot of fun scrimming and taking it serious. And it's not something that you see very often, is a lot of your whole entire team wanting it as much as you. And I felt like I had kind of something to prove that there's a reason why they picked me. And it was also Halo 3. So going back to Halo 3, it was like riding a bike, which made it even better. So But it was like an adjustment period, seeing how like their play style. It was like and how just adjusting to their communication, just everything. But it was all also an improvement in every category. So I'll miss it as well, but I'm excited to take what I learned from them and apply it to my new team. But I also, like I said, I did learn a lot from them, like small little niche things. But I'm gonna, like I said, apply that to even more future Halo games and even the past.
First off, I want to start off by saying it's about time my guy got some recognition, and he got the team offer that he deserved. Second off, my
How
guy
did you bring yourself into this? What did you say?
I'm talking about Bradley.
Oh.
I think like I was extremely worried when I heard Sentinels was going to pick up Frosty, and I was personally, I'm an aPG fan. I'm probably the biggest aPG fan on the planet. Always have been, always will be. So I was worried for my guy Brad when you got dropped, or they decided, I guess, to replace you with Frosty, picking Frosty back up. I didn't know who was going to pick you up. I didn't know what team you were going to end up on. I was kind of worried for you about what your options were going to be and how realistic being able to compete with the team that kind of just replaced you, what that was going to look like your opportunity to kind of compete with them. Because I know that that's such an important thing, is like when someone drops you, you want to beat them, right? So tell me what was going through your mind, Brad, when you got the news that Sentinels was going to go with the decision to kind of go with Frosty and whatnot, and like how quickly did this team offer come up, and was there like a lot of ambiguity around what was going to be your future and how long that time period was?
Right. Well, first and foremost, thank you to both you and Faisal. I don't think I said that, but so I guess I'll tell you the story. I think pro players, they know it, but I guess the public doesn't know. It's kind of a crazy series of events, and I have to leave some parts out, obviously, because of people's privacy and
Of course.
organizations as well. So they contacted me. I had a feeling that it was kind of going to happen. Unfortunately, like I just had a hunch, and when I kind of feel like that, it tends to happen because Frosty just been playing a lot of Halo, and I don't know, I just randomly felt like that. So they contacted me. It was late, like 11:30, 12 a.m., and it was Snakebite. He texted me and he just said, yo, you busy? Like just one of those like capital Y.
Damn.
You're just like, damn
like
it.
Yeah. And I was just like,
we've all been hit with that text.
and I was
Oh,
chilling.
yeah.
I was chilling in my bed, happy, like vibing, and then got the text. I was like, damn! I literally just knew. I was like, this is it. So
Stomach sinks.
yeah, but and then because I was like on top of the world, and we just won all the H2A tournaments. We've been winning live tournaments.
You've been playing lights out this whole time. Like,
thank you.
Things are going well.
Yeah, I didn't think there was anything I did in the wrong, but so I get in a Discord call. It was Snakebite and TJ, and they just basically tell me that Frosty's coming back, and when when I heard it, I was just like, my first instinct. I don't get mad in these situations. Like I understand, like it's Frosty. Like I can't argue against that. It's Frosty. It's their old teammate. It's easy decision for them, and so they basically told me, and then I made some jokes with them, blah blah blah, and then directly after that, we talked for a little bit. I asked for some advice, and then I think people know that they had some differences. Snakebites explained it on stream. Like Frosty didn't tell them that he was going to switch, and I was on their team like going forward into Infinite. It wasn't like they just had me just for 2000 was it 2019 and just planned on.
A lot of this is a culmination of the Call of Duty League going back to 4v4.
Yeah, that's what I kind of gathered in my mind once it happened. Like I thought about that. That definitely crossed my mind as one of the reasons. And but anyways, where was I? So
they had told you, and you had gone to them for advice.
Yeah. So they go to me advice, or I went to them for advice. So I leave that call, and I immediately, who was the first person I contacted? I think it was Penguin. It was Penguin. Penguin, I think, was the first person I contacted. or it was Kevin. It was Kevin, I think.
I was about
Kevin
to say,
was,
yeah, I'd be
It's-
calling Kevin.
yeah. So it was Kevin,
Call Uncle
and then
Kev.
yeah. So well, also I forgot to mention that when they told me that they wanted to drop me, they thought in their minds, like I say, they thought in their minds that they were giving me a lot of time to find a team, and in reality, I literally only had about less than 72 hours. If I'm gonna put a limit
Why
on
is
it.
that?
Yeah, I'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
So I called
hold
Kevin.
your horses there, Faisal.
So I called Kevin, and I just basically, when I'm in these situations, I don't say like, hey, I want you to drop this person. I don't think I need to do that at this stage in my career. So
You're established.
yeah. So
People know who aPG is.
exactly. So I just say to Kevin, hey, I just got dropped. Frosty's coming back, and I at this time you couldn't say Frosty's coming back to the public or to people that would spread the word around because he was still under contract with the CDL and it was still low key.
Mm-hmm.
So Kevin, I told him, he's like, well, we're about to sign without org, and like we already have our contracts. And when I heard that, I was just like, fuck, man, like what's gonna happen now? Like nobody wants to be that team that just makes a move and right before you sign. And they had literally had their contracts and they had been a team for a decent amount of time, so I understood it. So he told me basically no. So next person I went to was Penguin, and I told Penguin the same thing, and he told me as well they were even closer to signing. Like Kevin's team was a little bit away, like a couple weeks to a month, but still, like they were in the process of figuring out those kinks in their contracts with lawyers and whatnot. So I go to Zane, and Zane is same exact thing. His team is even closer to signing. Like I said, within
What was Zane's team at the time?
Zane's team was Envy, like which is my team.
Okay,
And
okay.
it was me or him placing me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dang! So you went from hitting him up to joining his team to
And at the time, Eco. So right now, obviously, Penguin is with Eco's team. So at the time, Eco's fourth it was Eco, Renegade, Stellar.
Snipe down, right?
Yeah, it was Snipe down.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
so you were trying to see where you could fit in, but they were set on their four.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
gotcha.
Zane tells me, like I said, they're close to signing. They're literally having a lawyer look over their contracts. Slickle has a lawyer looking over them, and I'm just thinking, oh fuck, I have to go to the next person. So he basically tells me no as well because nobody wants to do that. So I went to Spartan, and it's late at night, dude. Like it's 2, 3 a.m. I contact Spartan. I'm like, hey, I just got dropped. Is there anybody you want to make a change for? And he was very open, and shout out to Spartan at the time, very open. And he said, let me contact Jessica and Mike. He contacted Fallon Boo Boo, and they decided they wanted to drop Aaron for me. And also, his team was even closer to signing. Literally was going to sign within 24 to 36 hours. Like, was going to submit clips for an announcement, but they were going to I can't say too much because they were gonna sign to an org. That org is not in the picture at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But so I get on the team for Aaron, and that causes a full commotion between Aaron and I because we're good friends. And he was upset with me because I didn't go to him. And like first off, and I went to Spartan, but I just was going to people at that point because I was just hearing all this news and I was kind of panicking because I didn't want to get left out.
Absolutely, you are.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy.
It is right now.
Exactly. So Spartan's team picks me up, and then I'm on that team. We were gonna sign to this org. I literally was getting the contract, submitted my clips for an announcement, and then a few days later, I took a nap, and then I woke up to Snipe Down calling me, and he's calling me, telling me he just got dropped from his team. And then I'm just like, dude, what is happening at this point?
Ooh.
So I
calls.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, what are you trying to do here? Like, this is just happening so fast, and I'm not in this position. I don't know. From what just happened to me to where I felt like I was about to be left out to like them calling me and I'm about to be in this tornado. I did not expect that to happen when I was literally sleeping and woke up.
Pure chaos.
Yes.
And before you fell asleep, you were thinking you found like a spot to settle in with you with Falcon. So when you get that call from Snipe Down, it adds a whole another element of like decisions now, right?
He's
Because Snipe Down,
he's resting in peace. Like everything's good. He's chill. He's got a contract. He's got a team that can.
The money was good. The contract was incredible. The contract was one of the best I've seen in a good minute. It was probably the best contract out of all the like pro teams.
Halo Alex.
Yeah,
I
gotta jump in real quick and just say, like, Wes, when you first said you were worried for your boy, I was like, oh, no problem. It's aPG. We know he's gonna land on his feet. But now I'm hearing this story and like my heart's pumping right now. I'm like, dog, what's gonna happen next?
I'm hearing this whole time. I'm hearing whispers from like, oh, it's like so and so's dropping so and so isn't gonna pick Brad up because they have contracts. I'm hearing this all third party. I'm hearing it from different players all across the scene. Yeah,
and it's so different. It's so different than how it used to be, because now when you throw in the aspect of contracts and these big organizations, that it's literally you're setting yourself up for, like, you're talking life money now, right? You're talking like big time, like the
most money we've seen in contracts. These are tier 1 orgs. Like each org is tier 1. Like there's not.
So go ahead, Brad.
You want a good, like, put a good first impression. If it is your first impression.
Yeah, you don't want to be the guy that signs the contract and then is asking to leave for a better team like a month later when you haven't even rep their name.
Yeah, this is adult time.
So, but you also want to win.
So Rona called, so he tells me that he got dropped for Penguin. I didn't say that part. He got dropped for Penguin. So the Envy spot is open. And he calls me, he's like, what would you want to do? And he's like mentioning like variations of Spartan, Boo Boo Foul, me, him, Trippy, Ola, like all these different combinations. And I'm just like, he's also tells me he has Apex scrims in like 30 minutes. And then I told him at first, I was like, all right, let me call you back in 5 minutes. And after I hung up on him, I called Kevin and asked Kevin what's going on. And then he told me, and then also told me his org situation. And the org situation, there's a bit I can't say right now, but Kevin's team, like they were afraid, or there was like a rumor that Kevin's team was possibly going to take Envy from them, and then Envy not have an org and then be left out. So I get also a text from Trippy. And he tells me, yo, what are you doing? Like, let's get in a Discord and talk. So I get in a Discord with him, Ola, and Stan, and also Swiftkill. And they tell me that they also talked to Eric, but very briefly. But we talked a decent, like, for about an hour. You know, they asked me like what my goals were, what my mindset was. You know, kind of basic kind of interview stuff, but they understood. Like we were kind of just shooting the shit, because I don't really talk to them too much, like outside of events, like, hey, what's up? But you know, I'm cool with them. So
but they're not like your every day hanging out with them boys. Like they were just people you're cool with, but you don't. You know.
But we were straight. Everything was going well, and then they tell me that they want to talk to Eric a little bit. It's like afterwards, but they tell me also that they're pretty set on me. Like they want like me to join the team, so they basically give me a yes, probably like a 90% yes.
Damn, I don't know if I've ever seen Halo interviews. Just you join the Discord and you're just getting grilled questions. Going into Infinite.
Especially from the
players. Yeah, because you can't like run games, right? Like you can't run games or scrim and stuff.
I could imagine that from management or something, but like from the player.
This was an actual business interview that you went to.
It's understandable because I have a liability pass. I haven't been the best teammate outside of the game.
Hey, you've been good for a while now.
But yeah, so I've definitely made my improvements, and they've seen that, so that's why they also picked me up. So they told me that they wanted to talk to Snipe Down a bit, because they only talked to him briefly, like I said, and then he's also hitting me up at the same time, trying to make a team with me, and then I'm talking, and he's also wanting the team with them, and he's texting me, so I'm like getting texts from him trying to ask me like, what are you doing, while I'm talking to the people he's possibly wanting the team with, which is his old team, by the way. Which is the old reciprocity from the end of Halo 5.
Yeah.
So old roster. So
Yeah.
that's also like surprising to me that they picked me up over him as well. Like in that regard.
Well,
'cause
they never won, so.
But just say that. But since all the old teams, they seem to be reuniting, going forward, which also is better for marketing and getting an award also.
So when they told you
things.
that they still wanted to talk to Snipe Down, but they kind of made you think that, like you said, you felt like a 90% confidence that you had the spot, right? So did that 10% make you uncomfortable to the point where you're like, okay, this is a big decision. I don't want to get screwed out of a spot altogether. Should I just stick with like Boo Boo Foul and Spark? Or in your head where you're like, if these guys offer me, I'm definitely, where was your head at?
Well, it was more so I was more worried when they were talking to him and it was taking a while. So it was like it had been like an hour and a half, and I was like, dude, fuck, man, like he could be convincing them. And there's a lot of details,
rekindling that old love.
Yeah,
exactly. The team, everyone in the party.
You guys remember the scrims?
Like, who knows what they could be talking about?
We can run it back.
They could be talking about anime.
We should have won that series.
Yeah, if they're talking about anime, it's chalked, bro. Like if they're talking about anime together, it's over at that point.
All of us are talking about anime. Just
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But now he talks about anime with me. He's putting me on.
No, I think
we have a separate podcast. Talk to aPG about some animes.
But what were you gonna say, Wes?
I said I think
I'm stressed.
I think
stressed out.
when I hear about the team decisions and stuff, it's like the past year you've been playing lights out Halo at just about every event, right? Like when we watch Sentinels, we're watching aPG go off. It's like all the time. So I think you easily solidify that kind of a statement in people's heads now. Like after watching you, especially in like H2A, it really felt like, dude, you hit a groove, and
hell yeah, dude.
At times you looked like the best player on that team, right? Like,
thank you.
So I think that's like when you're saying like Trippy and saying we're playing against you, they're very aware of how good you were playing. So it's not like a surprise they don't pick up Snipe Down. Or
especially with
like,
the Apex stuff too, like kind of distracting Snipe Down, right? Like I think we have a different conversation if Snipe Down is like all in on Halo, but the fact that he's kind of wishy-washy.
I think Rona's a great player in his own, but I mean, like I think Rona plays at such a high level. I mean, his resume speaks for himself, right? But what I'm saying is like aPG. If you've been paying attention to Halo over the past year, aPG is playing world-class Halo.
Oh yeah,
I think throughout the community
now that's saying that
for sure. And from my perspective on it, knowing the players to a degree, understanding the chemistry of a lot of these teams, and knowing that a lot of these players and understanding where their come up and the process that it took for them to get where they are. I think everyone knew that aPG was one of the best players available, but what threw everything off and made it a little bit uncertain from my perspective is what he's saying about the timeline and the contracts and having 72 hours. So
even though he's like at the right time to be a factor, right? If he gets dropped a day or two later, like that's a problem, If he gets dropped a day or two earlier, like he has more of a chance. I didn't realize it was like you got dropped and you literally within that couple hour window had to figure something out, or deadlines were hitting. Like that timing is insane, bro. Like you can't make that up.
If I had waited till the morning, I probably would not have been on Spartan's team because they honestly were that close to signing. And but I was very, very fortunate. But when I say all this, like I'm about at the end of the story, like about to end it. But
no, we love this, man. Like take all the time you need. By the way, like you're the guest here. We're stoked to just hang out with you, man. So like no rush, dude. Do your thing.
But like Snakebite, in reality, they should have given me a lot of time. Like the game, I got dropped like beginning of like August. I think I signed the contract like August 1st or around there. So I got dropped like end of July. But the game was coming out at that time in 2 months. And these orgs were wanting to build fan bases and like create like hype and build all this stuff around Halo Infinite. And, there was plans. And everything just got put on hold.
Damn it, Wes, why'd you have to delay the game, bro? You single-handedly. I know you hit the button. I know you told everybody we got to delay the game. It's all your fault, bro. Clearly.
Yeah, you did mess up a lot, but I don't mean any disrespect to Sentinels or anything when I say that, but I like when it came down to it, they know how crazy my road was. Like they know how everything was. They were talking to me. I'm still mad cool with them. They're pretty much my best friends in the community. But it was crazy time period for me. But to end my story, just Snipe Down, when he got out of his Apex scrim, he texted me before he went and talked to them, or I think after he did or something like that. I think after he did, because they didn't tell him, I don't think yet. After he did, he texted me and said, "Hey, I just talked to my old team. I think I'm gonna go team with them."
Oh no.
That's what he sent me. And then at that time, I had just gotten back into a call with them. If I get this correct, I hope, and this is no disrespect to anybody. I'm really just saying how it happened, like straight facts, receipts, everything. I'm pretty sure, but don't quote me on that. But I'm pretty sure, like 85%. I get back on the call with them. He texted me. I'm pretty sure I want to go team with them because it was understandable why he wanted to. It was because him trying to make like a team with him and I and Boo Boo Foul, Spartan, and all these combinations. It was a mess. Also with organization stuff.
Yeah.
Because because like I said, there's gonna be orgs, but not at the moment. I can't say who. He so he texted me. I texted him. Actually, I had to text him back. Well, then at that time I got the 100% from them, and I knew it because I was like, "Hey, can I text Eric back that I'm on your team?" And they said, "Yes, you can. You're on our team now." So I texted him, and then I said, "Hey, I'm sorry. I just talked to them. They want me to join the team. I wish
the
you the
180.
best." Yeah. So
reversal.
Yeah.
The
So
reversal.
so at all this time, I'm trying to figure this out. And this is what sucks about team changes. And let me get this out there because I've thought about this a little bit. You can't make a team change like in this day and age. In this day and age, you do not run games. Like you pick up somebody and you work and get better, and you expect to get better based on what you know. You know?
Yeah.
So when you're picking a fourth, it's gonna leak out. Like you're gonna have to talk to a fourth. You're gonna have to get him to leave his team, and then yes, and that's gonna leak out, and that's gonna probably get back to your team that you're trying to make the team change for. So, and that's just inevitable. I've realized that like this time made me realize that I don't know why.
The business.
Yeah, and I don't know why this time this late made me realize it, but it leaked back to Spartan. Because this whole day, this is like a few hours for me. Like this is a crazy time. I'm getting phone calls,
That's a shit show, bro. That is a shit show.
And it does suck for Spartan and them, right?
Yeah,
like, I know where you're going with that, and it does, but you can't like I said, it's the nature of the business, taking it personal or whatnot.
But
I'm not
they were
sure
planning
what
on dropping Spartan anyways, which is why I'm like confused. Like they were like
not that time, not that time. We were all good. Their issues with Spartan, I don't think that they thought it was going to be an issue with me on the team, which was also very nice of them. Like if there's any like say this is just me saying something very random, like say it was an attitude issue, which is a very random thing, and I not even pertaining to him. They would think that I would fix the attitude issue or something like that.
Yeah.
So it leads back to Spartan, and I'm good friends with Spartan, Boo Boo, and Val as well. I'm like I said, I don't really have any enemies in the community, which is a good thing for me. Like if I approach somebody, I'm comfortable enough to talk to them and tell them how I feel and anything like that. So it leaked back to him, and he was upset, obviously. And I had to like talk to him last, and I was just like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry. Like, I think this is going to be better for me in the long run." I also liked Envy, the Envy deal. It's a good deal, and I also wanted to be like, it's Envy. It's a tier 1 organization. I want something good to rep, and I also wanted to join that team. I think Saiyan, Trippy, they're two up and coming players. Yeah, and the more I play with Trippy, and as I haven't played with Saiyan too much or Ola, but the more I play with Trippy, I enjoy it more and more. I'm cool with him outside of the game, so it's just also a comfortability thing. But I was going to be comfortable on both teams. And also,
dude, the idea of you and Pistola on the same team is like nightmare fuel. Like I'm dead. Like that is like horrifying. Like for people that don't understand, like a lot of folks in the scene now are kind of newer, to the Halo scene and whatnot, and they don't realize that the impact that you had on the game. Like specifically, like I'm thinking about Halo 3. Like there was a lot of people that thought that you single-handedly like were part of a revolution in the pro scene of like aggressiveness and like really saying to hell with like the setup-based game and like just going for it. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like people don't understand like what you bring to the table. Like I remember, so I teamed with Break before Break actually teamed with Faisal on the Warrior squad. I remember teaming with Break at a tournament, and he was like telling me, he was like, hey dude, we have to win this match in pro, and then we have to lose this match here, because if we win this match, we're going to play aPG next, and we have to avoid playing aPG at all costs. Like, I'm dead serious that actually happened. Like, he was like terrified of playing aPG. Like, he was like, I do not want to play aPG. I don't care if we have to lose on purpose to go to the lower bracket. Like, stay out of the way of aPG.
Been terrified of a majority of the pro scene. I'll be honest.
That's actually wild.
Yeah, like that's real, bro.
People say that, but I also was just like, I don't know if people know, like you said, but I played in Halo 2, and I was like mad young, like 12. And when you're 12 years old, if I saw a 12-year-old playing video games right now, I would just be like, dude, and he's good. If he was good, like, not even trying to gas myself up, but I was placing very, very well for a fucking 12-year-old.
You can shoot. You can point and click. I'll give you that.
I almost got top 8 in free for all. That's
crazy.
Yeah, I remember one of your teams way back then dropping you for me, and I was like, why are you guys dropping aPG for me? Like, we need to drop one of these other guys and keep aPG. He's nasty, you know, because I had points, whatever. I was like, no, aPG is the one we need to keep, and they end up not keeping you, and like we got top 32. It was like trash. I'm like, dude, like. We should drop somebody else. aPG was nasty. Like, he was 12 years old doing the thing like back then.
But I was stupid. I was just like an FFA kid, because I would just be able to chase kills, and I literally didn't use my brain. Like, looking back, like
y'all want to hear the story of when I met aPG?
Let's get it. We got it.
I was 15 years old. aPG,
how old? Another one for you.
12. You're 12, aPG?
Yeah, 12. I was trying to think if I was 11 or 12, but I was 12.
Yeah, so it's my first event. It's Dallas 06. Me and only Mike, my next door neighbor at the time, went to the event with just a wrap-up team, right? Actually, Gregor was on the team too. He's on the pro team now. So
only Mike. That's a name, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Gregor.
So we're it's Saturday. Of the event, we just went basically to compete, but I wanted to check out what MLG was all about, right? Like, it's my first MLG event. It's huge. You got the ogres there, final boss, everything. And I'm actually eating lunch. It's me and only Mike eating lunch outside the venue, and like like typically when events are in venues, you have that like carpet area where you have to like go to the sign-in desk. They have like the hot dog stand. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
It's like $10 hot dogs, bro. Like
that hot dog stand. And I remember only Mike and I had a hot dog and a bag of chips. And I promise you, 12-year-old aPG walks up to us and says, "Hey guys, I'm aPG." And he goes, "Do you mind if I eat lunch with y'all?" And he literally said,
what a wholesome gesture.
He was such a sweet little kid, man.
I'm like, but we played each other online, like in hardcore and stuff. Like, I knew who aPG was. aPG knew who like I was.
He was nasty,
and he knew who only Mike was. So it was like, so we're like, oh yeah, we play with you. And aPG is just a 12-year-old kid by himself at the event. He only went for free for all. Didn't play in the fours. I don't know how you did that event in free for all.
What event was that?
Second to last. It was Dallas 06.
Gotcha.
Damn, you've been going to events since 06,
bro. Let me tell you about young aPG. Like,
true OG.
Young aPG, like, he's got that beautiful head of hair that you see right there, styled and dialed in now. But aPG back then was like nothing but bald cuts and extra large white t-shirts, bro. Like, that was aPG's swag. Extra large white t-shirts and bald to the bone, bro.
Only white tees in Foot Locker.
I mean, how about
you silences back in the day?
Basically, we eat lunch, and I look back on that, and I'm like, in that circle, have like what? We have so much success coming our way, and it's our first MLG event. It's Dallas 2006. Not only that, but I want to say I have one of my best friends so far in life that I'll call. I can talk to Bradley about anything, and for him to kind of create that moment for me was special back in 06. And our friendship's been 14 years strong since.
Yeah,
love to hear that.
I needed a friend there, but I do appreciate you, and you're hopefully a lifelong friend. You know, you've been I thought about I asked Wes this question. I was like, it's pretty random. I forgot where we were. I think it was Dallas last year in a hotel room after the event, and I was like, "Am I your longest friend like that you've had?" And he had to think about it. And he's like, "Yeah," or
You'll
like
love to
longest
hear
online.
that.
I think
That's
our longest
wholesome as
online
hell.
friend
My
at
heart
least.
just.
Bro,
Absolutely.
if that story happened in '06, like just think about it. 14 years going strong. That is
How many different
that's
cities and
wild.
different states and
crazy.
like hangouts in
Dude,
different places and like that's so freaking
Yeah,
cool that
yeah,
we had to have that experience.
we got the team, man. We had some success. We created some upsets.
Yeah.
Got to help Brad on his path to the top. Man, we were nasty together too, dude. It was some good times.
Very blessed.
Dynasty has some good times.
My question next, Brad, since we're pertaining to envy and whatnot, is like, what's your passion and fire level like now, wanting to beat this Sentinels team that kind of let you go? Like, how are you feeling about all that?
Ooh, I want to add on to that.
Go ahead,
After
Wes.
answer before.
Or now or after?
No, I want you to answer it as an entirety. I kind of had this in my head too, Justin. What's it going to mean to you when you
Oh man,
when you're on land and you look over after winning the series against that team? What's that moment going to mean?
Knock on
to you?
wood
I
3
think
times.
yeah, I'm
I was
knocking
gonna
all
say,
over the
knowing
place for him.
APG I was
Everybody
gonna
knock
say,
on
knowing
something right
APG
now.
All you knock on wood 3 times.
Knowing
But-
APG,
Yeah.
like I know APG, we had to. I was literally
Yeah.
looking for wood in my room because I was like, APG's gonna say knock on wood. He's the most superstitious.
You might have some back there by the window logo on your wall. You might have some over by the windows there on your
and
wall.
I'm not saying
Basil.
this. I'm not saying it's going to happen the first time you play him or the second, but I'd
The
be
day will
shocked.
come.
Yeah, there's going to be a day where that moment happens, and I look forward to that for you. But I do want to hear what that would mean to you.
Well, to Justice's question first off, to being on Envy, it's like say it's not easy for people to have like much passion right now. Like at this very moment, like you can get signed to an org, you can get paid a little bit, but to have your full passion, it's not going to be there. You're playing online. Some people are playing on Xbox Ones from 6 years ago. You're playing in like 20 team tournaments. It's not going to be there completely. But being signed to a good org, it could mean something or it could not. But being on Envy and me being just dropped, I have to find that passion. Like I even tried like last weekend. I even said to my teammates, I was like, "Let's rekindle the passion this weekend." Like I had to try. I wanted to find it, and just because
I love
Sounds
that.
like a girlfriend.
I was like,
Yeah, I love that.
I did say like that's the key word this weekend. Let's rekindle because like I want to like even though it's not a lot for money or anything, let's find to love to just play and grind and have fun competing. But being on Envy and going forward, it's not even just so much about it's if you're not on Sentinels, it's about being Sentinels. I heard you say that when you were casting Halo 5. Like it's about like always about beating them. They're number one.
Yeah.
But being on the team and then being not on their team, like I'm the only person that's been on there and not been on there. So I know how
Insider
hard they work.
information. Yeah.
Yeah, I know how hard they work, and I know I have to work twice as hard, and I have to get my teammates to work twice as hard as well, and be on the same page with me always, and communication, all those little small things. Like I even try and drill those into Trippy, like now, because like they're just little small little things that even Snakebite would come at me for and tell me and like drill that in my head. And even if I like, I would sit there and I would like, if I would even like felt like I was being attacked, I would sit there and take it because I knew it was for the greater good, and I knew it's Snakebite saying it to me, and I know I need to use this information. So anything it's saying to me, I'm going to listen. And
now you're powering up your teammates with the information that's been passed down from like Snakebite and the rest of these guys. Like that's a scary thing, man.
They showed me a lot of respect on that team. Snakebite especially, they would tell me like make play calls and tell me to tell them what to do at even at times, and I need to work on staying like being more in that position, like more of like a leader like position, I guess I'd say, but I don't even like to use that word as I don't view myself as like that kind of in the comms. Even though some people view themselves as that. But I'd say I start to get into that mode when I get not frustrated, but I want shit to get done a certain way. So I start directing, like, you do this, you do this, you do this, and I will tell them what to do. So I know what the fuck is going on in the game. I'm a type of player that I need to know what the fuck's going on. I need information around me to play well. Like, for me to make a good play, I need to know what you are doing and play off that.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And aside from just all of what you bring to this Envy team in terms of you as a player, like your skill set, I think what adds to your benefit even more is exactly everything you're saying. The fact that you're going to be there to instill some of that reinforcement, right? In terms of mindset, in terms of hard work, and just even though you are one of the top teams, you have to work harder than anyone in your minds to be the best, right? So I think the fact that you were the only person in the Halo community outside of that group of 4 that's been on that team, such a dominant, historic Halo team, and you won just as dominantly essentially with them. So you got to see, like you're saying, firsthand what they do and what their mindset is and how they help each other as teammates. You know, they tell each other how to improve and what you're doing wrong. So I think aside from the obvious skill set that you're bringing to Envy, the fact that you'll be able to bring that mindset is just as big of a benefit for that team.
And even on Sentinels, it's not like they're and there's no disrespect, they're honestly playing just the correct Halo. They're playing their lives, they're communicating, they're just checking off every list of basic requirements of how to win a Halo game.
They make less mistakes than their opponent.
They make a lot less, tremendously few less mistakes, and they also hit those clutch shots, and they have that ice. And it always comes down to those last second plays. It's going to come down to those, and you have to have that ice to win the tournament.
Yeah, but those little plays make all the difference, right? At the highest level, when everyone's playing so good, it's going to be those plays that edge and change everything.
There might not be. It could be like a thinking play, like trying to get in a different position or something. Yeah. Like that, and always like a shot. But you're going to have to know that situation and put yourself in the right position to make the correct play. But to go back to what you're saying about when I beat them, just being not on the team anymore, it's even being on their team, I learned, like, when I would go to tournaments and being with them, they don't party, they don't go out, they don't do anything. Like, they all have girlfriends, and I'm single, so I'm just like chilling with them, and they just go to tournament. It's business. They go to tournament.
One goal.
Yeah, they go to tournament. They go to tournament. They go out. They eat. They go back to the rooms, chill, talk a little bit. They go to bed. Wake up, eat breakfast. Go to the tournament. And
what it takes,
when I got, and I got into that mode of just being like, I used to go to events and want to like go out, like say I was seeing
Thursday nights, baby.
Yeah,
get started. Right?
Oh my god.
Even I'll go out, like I'll go out and just like have some fun, but I won't be reckless. Like, I'll have a drink or two. I'll be in bed. I will be very responsible, and I'm very proud of myself for that. And also my teammates have seen that. But when I go to a tournament now, even not being on the team, it's just business. I need to go there. I need to play. They're just other names like in the way. It's not just, I'm not worried just about Sentinels. I'm just worried about who I need to beat to win. So
I love that,
yes,
man.
they are the team to beat, but I still know that I need to beat everybody, and everybody's a threat.
I love that. I love that you've taken those lessons and you've applied them, and not only that, like I said earlier, spreading them to the rest of your teammates. I have to admit, like, I'm a little bit biased towards you guys. I try really hard not to bring like race and politics into a lot of this stuff, but obviously we've had a crazy year of 2020. But there is something special to me about a team that has possibly 2 of the most prominent black, players in the Halo scene, with you and Alumni. Obviously, Alumni working behind the scenes on stuff over at Enemy, one of my best friends in the whole world, and so it's hard for me not to root for that success. We all love those stories of the folks who got dropped or whatever and come back with that fire. And just from talking to you right now, man, like I'm fucking pumped, dude. Like it sounds like you're ready to get at it, and I was curious, like, coming into this, like, which aPG are we going to get, because we've seen the motivated, like, chin down, ready to get it aPG, and we've also seen the aPG that, didn't take it as seriously. And so I think that this definitely sets the record straight on a lot of that stuff, man. So really, really rooting for you out there, bro.
Thank you. Alumni, I understand where you're coming from, like, not to put race and stuff like that. I'm not even that type of person. Like, I went to private school, for God's sake. But
I went to private school, for God's sake.
It is like,
I'm not sure that changes anything.
Because I'm not even like that.
I got you. Go.
But Alumni and Hoax, they brought it up to me that point, and it's kind of cool. Like,
it's badass.
Like it's cool, like being the only like African American or like one of the few like
The greatest.
pros. Don't say that. But at the moment,
Who's better than you? Don't
at
even
the
argue.
moment, at the moment, but there's not many. But there's not many. But that's the point. But that's why it's pretty cool. And then but like I said, this is a crazy year, and you don't see many of them in console gaming.
Yeah.
You see a lot of them in like 2K or fighting games, but not in console gaming.
Yeah, Wes said the word greatest. So I do have to ask you the most important question of all time. Like, who is the greatest Halo team of all time to you, Bradley, aPG? Go ahead.
Sentinels.
Easy.
God
Easy.
damn it, man. Come on, man.
Dude, this guy is still on the final boss
Stop
train.
it.
Yeah.
Stop
Like,
it.
you're
Stop
delusional, man. Grow
18
up.
wins out of 22 events, man. Like, get out of my face
I'm
with that.
telling you,
I know
man,
you're
like-
lying.
Zero mics
Like,
on headphones.
There was a time, I think it was.
It's almost like a different game.
It's like the NBA back then and now, right?
It was 2016. I think it was when Wes was coaching him. I think you might have been in the call. It was right when I got in my car accident, and at the time, I was not playing. I wasn't able to play, and I had been replaced. So I was just like chilling. Like I said, I've been great friends with these guys. I was chilling in the call with them, and I was just like, dude, I was watching a scrim. I think it was against the Oxide's team. I don't know who was on it. And I was like, dude, you guys are just like demoralizing people. Like,
Dude, I'm telling you.
nobody is wanting to like
The
play
things
you
that
and
I've
improve.
seen.
Like, and that's something I took into account, and just the way they dominate, and they could dominate over multiple titles. I mean, they did it recently. We did it in Halo 3. H2A, we would have done it, or they would have done it.
Halo Reach.
We did well in online. We won like 3 out of 4. Didn't perform on LAN, but Final Boss also had their hiccups. But in Halo 5, they've smashed. Like, it's hard to compare because it's different time periods.
Close.
It's different time
Dude,
periods,
it
and it's gonna be.
absolutely is
You're an
close,
OG. There's an OG. You're an OG, so you're gonna pick final, like, cliche. You're gonna pick final boss, but in my mind, I was there for both time periods. Excuse me. I think Sentinels.
I just think 18 out of 22 events with an average placing of 1.18 is
It's an
freaking
irrelevant
insane.
statistic.
It's insane.
it's
level-
no matter who you
The
look
level
at,
of
it's
Halo,
insane.
the level of Halo being played back then, aPG was 12 years old, placing top 8 in free for
I
all.
was just about to say that. I was
Yeah, the
like,
competition was crazy, and we touched on this point earlier too, where like people when Sentinels or Tox was doing this, so when they were just demolishing other teams, it was in a time period where you're setting yourself up for $1 million tournaments. You're practicing for life. You're practicing for enough money to change your whole life, like, and your generation. It's like generational
is true.
wealth.
On the
That is true.
biggest
The money was
stage, on the
insane.
biggest stage.
You're 11. You're
Back
beating
then,
people in scrims, the best teams in scrims, 11-0, and you're playing for millions of dollars. So everyone's going extremely hard. Everyone's the best of the best.
Every single night, it was 11-0, 11-0, 11-0, 10-1, 11-0,
I mean, we saw
11-0.
Final
People
Boss
would
have a
not
flawless
play-
tournament. They won the entire thing without a single drop game. So 11-0, like, I get
So
it.
did
But they did it in a
Instinct.
tournament. Did Sentinels win a world championship without dropping a game? I don't think so. It didn't
then
happen.
the
might have
competition was
dropped-
higher.
Oh, of course.
And-
you can't
and
deny that
also-
now the competition's a lot higher. Period. Players have gotten better. They're always going to get
also-
better.
The quality of Halo is insane compared to then.
It's hard to say because it's like 2 different games. It's 2 different games that are like vastly different from each other, but they both have to be respected. Final Boss was
course.
a thing back then.
Absolutely.
course.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Sentinels
I mean,
was a thing.
I'm not saying they
One of
were.
those things too. It's one of those things where like you really can ask a handful of people, and I think majority of the newer people would go with Tox or the Sentinels roster, and majority of the older heads would just say Final Boss, just because both groups of people, both teams dominated, right? So they both, whatever competition was in front of them, they beat them and they moved forward every single time. I just think Sentinels, whether it was just fortune or whatever you want to call it, but they were able to be in a position to do it on a bigger stage for a lot more money. So that's not Final Boss's fault that they were competing for whatever was the best to compete for. So they did what they were supposed to do. It's just fortunate that Sentinels was in the time period in the era where if you're doing it, it's so elevated because it's just
like I said in one of our earlier episodes, I'm obviously very biased because of the fact that played both in both games, and when I played Final Boss my first time ever in Pro Bracket, they were literally screaming callouts against a 32nd seed, whereas Sentinels, like, they knew they were going to beat us, so they were kind of coasting. But that spoke to me, that the fact that even FB, the greatest team in the world, would take a 32nd seed seriously enough to like go 100% even against their early rounds.
I can see your
know
point
what I mean?
there. I can see your logic there. That's I can see that. But this is what I wanted to say. When you get into these lists and these types of conversations, I have some, like, I take into account like longevity. I have certain things that I take into account, like 3 or 4 things. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but like longevity, kind of placements, like even if like they fell off towards the end of their career, that's like a top 10 list. They fell off towards the end of their career, that's still going to matter to me, even if they kept playing when they
I can
probably
respect
shouldn't
that.
have.
Yeah.
But I just think I don't know, Sentinels they just did their thing.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, no, that's a really good answer.
Longer. I think they were just going to do their thing longer, and I think they're going to continue to do their thing longer.
Yeah, Sentinels isn't even over yet.
That's definitely a good point. They're definitely not over, so we'll have to wait and see kind of when their body of work and their painting, their Mozart is done. Like, we'll get to look at both and say, hey, this happened for this team, this happened for this team. But I mean, it seems like we're almost an hour into this episode. So Bradley, like it or hate it, you're in it with us for the long haul, brother. We're glad to have you, man. Let's chat really quick. Go ahead.
I want to say this, but bring it back to my point. Longevity, dude. You guys talked about, what was it, top 5 West, top 5 Halo 3 3 Why did you guys put Snipe down in there? Was it Snipe?
That wasn't me. That was not me, dude.
You guys should not have put Snipe down in there.
No,
he was low on my list. He was like 4 or 5 on my list, bro. He was not high at all.
He's not in there. Period.
Can't be low.
Okay, aPG, who's your 5? Can you think of it quick? Like, who your top 5 would have been in that Halo 3
name
list?
the 4 that were in there, and I'll name the 5th.
It was Cloud.
Ola.
Yeah. Cloud.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got to think of this. Hold on. Who was it?
Yeah, hold on. I don't want to get it wrong. Roy was in there somewhere. Roy
was 3. Fear.
No, Fear didn't make the list.
Wait, no.
Was Hysteria wasn't there. Hysteria wasn't there. He was 4. It was Ola, Cloud, Roy, Hysteria.
You guys didn't say who?
We didn't. He was on my list. He was on a couple of lists, but he didn't make it in.
He was on my list. He was on
my 5.
Actually, he wasn't in my list. That's why he didn't make it. Yeah,
that was not in my top 5.
But Fear itself finished. But he finished strong though. That's the thing that you said longevity. Like,
to be honest,
did not have.
We're talking about Rona, dude. Rona did not have a good year.
Was Rona our number 5? Was he our 5?
Yeah,
I think Eric was our 5. I think it was Rona, and then
you guys said, before you said. But
Rona was y'all's 5, not mine.
Rona. No disrespect to Rona, he was an incredible Halo 3 player. In 2008, he was probably the best. No disrespect to legit. And 2009 did his thing as well. But 2010, like what I said, my longevity and placement, he did not have a good 2010. So,
this 2010 was his worst year by far.
It was bad.
That was a bad year for him.
So where would your list look like, Brad, if you could think of it quickly? Not quickly, but
it's your list, but Fear instead of.
So Brad and I have the same.
Gotcha.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay, Wes. We get it, bro. You got the bond. You guys have teamed. You guys are like this. We get it, Wes.
Fear's and you can't put him down. Like playing.
I mean, he was incredible.
Fear was probably arguably the best player at the end of Halo 3.
Yeah.
I mean, Ola's still on that team, bro. Ola's still on that team.
Yeah, but Fear was something different.
And that's why they won 3 straight.
Hey, I'll say this: they were both. They played different positions. So Fear was a sniper. Fear was a sniper. So
it's like that conversation always too. Like we see in sports of like greatest versus best. Because if we're talking greatest, like Ogre 2's body of work like is pretty unmatched. But in terms of like best player in Halo 3, like dude, there were some guys in there like we talked about Cloud, just freaking insane. Like the stuff that those guys were doing, Ola,
Scotty
the
was
stuff
nasty,
they were doing. Yeah, so. It's always strictly like when we get into those lists, but it was a lot of fun to kind of get all of our lists together and then rally it all up. But I wanted to chat briefly about what happened this week in esports. Wes, I know you got some placings in front of you. Let's start with the Halo 5 open recap really quickly about this last weekend. One of the things that stood out to us, if we're being blatantly honest, is and Brad, I know you're pretty passionate about this, would be the Aces team not qualifying again in an open tournament, bro. Do you want to take the floor
Aaron
first,
Elam,
Brad, on
man.
that?
What does he need to
talk
do? APG, what does AC
Who'd they
do, man?
lose to? Who'd they lose to?
They did lose to Passion, who was the team that won the whole thing, but they lost in the game 5. It wasn't like they got blown out. It was a winnable series, and they just couldn't put together. I'm pretty sure they were up 2-1. I'm pretty sure they were up 2-1 in that series, or 2-0 maybe even, and lost that series. It was Ace, Arctic, Jazero, and Sab.
They lost to.
They lost to Passion.
Who was
He's talking about yesterday,
Envor,
not today.
I'm talking about Saturday. It was Envor. Who's all on that team, dude? It's Envor.
Passion didn't win today. Passion didn't win today. You said they won today.
No. They won on Saturday. We're starting with Saturday first. Yeah, Saturday's
It's Skeptify, Nebula, Envor.
They lost to them on.
Talik, was it?
Oh yeah, they lost game 5 on Kali. I remember that.
So they didn't get top 8, which means they're not going to play next weekend.
Yeah, they got.
I remember that. I remember that now correctly. All right, so I was watching that stream. They played Kali Slayer and they fucked that game up. They were up by like 10.
They were up big.
Yeah, they were up by like 10. They fucked that up big. I haven't played Halo 5 in forever, but I was a Halo 5 pro. I can kind of, when I watch it again, I kind of know what they messed up on, and it was kind of obvious things. They know what they messed up on. They definitely should be like making it like they are Halo 5 players aside from Aaron. Like they have been playing Halo 5, I think, to my knowledge, like decent amount, like since the patent just ended. I think they definitely should be qualifying. I saw on Twitter Druck brought up the double Elam should be in, and that they like these teams are playing, and it's not exactly fair. And I understand that, but you can't. Nowadays, you're not going to get
win or go home, dude. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Just fucking win.
You're going to play the same teams. You're going to play the same teams every week. That's how the ELO system works. The ELO system is messed up. That needs to be fixed. I think they're looking into that. Like you said, that needs to be fixed 100%. Like,
but complaining about single limb is like kind of just null and void because it's been single limb for how long, dude? Like Halo 5 back when we were qualifying for Worlds was single limb.
The teams are not complaining about it.
I think you should. If something is inherently broken, that's exactly a reason to complain about.
No, I'm saying the teams. I was saying the teams that like Aaron's team and Skeptify's team were not complaining about this. Druck brought this up.
Yeah. No. I'm just addressing like Hunter's. He's like, what Hunter's saying is like, oh, it's single limb. Don't complain about it. Just play. I disagree. It's a separate topic to discuss.
I don't like single limb as a format, but I'm saying like. They're complaining about it now like it's a new thing, Faisal, whereas like it's been this way for quite a while. If you look back to Halo 5 regionals trying to qualify and all that stuff, even before was all single. Face it is new.
Worlds, 2016 Worlds was.
Get me started on that.
That's crazy, bro. That can't be happening. That's straight up.
No, Worlds should not. Not for that amount of money, but
Elam is
the issue.
I would rather be best of 3 and do double Elam than do best of 5 and do single.
I would agree with that.
The issue is not the single limb. The issue is the faces seating system.
The ELO system.
I
right?
agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
System, rather. That's the
We've
issue.
run into some of those issues, right, Faisal, in some Halo 3 matches.
It's literally a broken. It's a broken system that needs to be addressed.
It might work for, and I believe it does work for Counter-Strike, and that's what Faceit is mainly known for. But for Halo, it doesn't work. Like if everybody is the same ELO, like what's the C gonna be? Or if like you're not getting the correct ELO. Like I've done well first or second in every single Faceit tourney, I believe, and I have not. I think. Somebody like Chris or Gilkey has like gotten first or second in the ones he's played, and he's like a 4 or 5. And
I think some are weighted. Some are weighted way harder than others.
I think it's weighted, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's weighted just by like competing, but also it could be like you win an open tournament, it could be the same as winning a pro tournament. So it's like you could just be a 10 easy.
Yeah, that's
when I see Faisal has like a level 4, level 5, and he's like won some of these tournaments, I'm just like, dude, like what's going on here?
It just messes up the bracket. And right now, like we talked about, aPG mentioned it a little bit. Like Halo is kind of in a position where it's hard for players and teams to find a lot of passion, I guess, and really give it their full because you're playing in these tournaments. It's cool because it's every week and you get to stay connected with the community. You get to stay competing, but you're playing in tournaments that have 15 to 20 teams. And if you win, you get $100, you get it every week. And, we can't complain right now because we will take what we can get. But
there's not going to be many. I'm sorry to cut you off, actually.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
You're good,
many, we're not in a position to make all these changes. We can be ready to make these changes towards Infinite and be united in all these things and go about them the right way. But at the moment, we should just be very grateful. And I think
Yeah,
we are doing.
and I agree with that totally, hands down. But at the same time, I think even though understanding that we're not and we can't and we won't be changing it in the immediate effect, it's important to bring it up right now, especially on your platforms and your social media, and mention the people that organize this stuff. Mention HCS, mention Tashi, and let your opinions be heard. Because as a community, we should have enough. We need to have input on this kind of stuff, and I think it's
I will
important.
say how you bring it up is very important, because we see people every day like roasting Tashi and stuff on Twitter, like thinking that's going to help get their point across. You know what I mean? It seems obvious to us, dude, but some people don't get it. Like they think that cussing people out and stuff is going to work.
Right,
you know? Exactly.
People do just kind of not think, like, if I want to be a pro, I'm going to be in, like, have a relationship with this guy. Like, I'm going to need Tashi. I don't need to be disrespecting him, as I'm going to need him.
Of course. Yeah. And in hindsight, I should have made it clear. Respectfully, we should make it be known. And it sucks that it even has to be prefaced with that. But you're right. There are, and I've seen it myself, and in Twitter replies and comments, and just unnecessary, for lack of a better term, like rudeness or harshness in the way you're addressing it. I think it's important to be professional and just request what you want and why you want to change it, and explain what's wrong about it. And I think when it overwhelmingly is stated that way, it's gonna be recognized and hopefully reconciled. So that's
speaking of people saying stuff like, Tashi needs to lose his job, like, y'all are insane. Like, most people don't get to see behind the scenes, but the amount of stuff that this guy has done and continues to do for the Halo scene, like, you get rid of Tashi, you don't have HCS, you don't have competitive Halo, and like, I can tell you right now, this guy loves Halo. Now. Exactly. Like, we have nothing. We are sitting around. Go ahead, Wes.
I have to walk on my tiptoes throughout this conversation. I'm going to keep it short from my point of view. I am on the inside. I see daily work. I see the grind. And short and simple, Tashi's one of the hardest workers I've ever worked alongside. One of the most passionate about Halo and its competitive scene. And with that being said, it does hurt to see some of the things that I see online. Listen, there's a lot of reasonings and a lot of factors that go into all the decisions that are made. Someone has to make decisions no matter how hard they are, how big they are, how small they are. Yeah. And if you ask me, I think he's done a very good job through his stint. So with that being said, I'm a kind of ease my way out of this conversation.
I mean, imagine that.
Go ahead, off of that really quick, and that kind of comes, and it's sad to say, this is me just kind of thinking out loud, but that comes with the territory when you're talking about a position like that in an esports community. And I think Tashi knows that probably more than everyone and more than anyone, and he still thrives under that scrutiny at times, right? So when it comes to a position like that, it's inherently going to be, you can't make everyone happy in anything in life. Like, there'll always be a split. There'll always be some people that want this, some people that want this, and naturally that side that it's not happy for that decision will come at the person who they think is responsible, when really it's so much more goes into it. It's not just Tachi saying yes, no. It's literally like there's a team, there's like a whole process that it goes through before decisions are made, and it's unfortunate that he is the scapegoat in a lot of these, like, in terms of online and Twitter and stuff, but the people that know understand that he does a great job and he literally puts in the effort and the time. So I just wanted to say that.
Definitely. But I have two things. First, to say, just to end on this conversation, I just don't like when known people, like players, like top players or some, not like pros most of the time. I don't think I see any like top pros disrespect Tashi. They know better, but like just like top AM players or whatnot. Not saying any names, but don't like just calling out Tashi. Like, that's what I don't like. That's like what you say matters a lot. Actually, when you're a top AM player, it matters a lot, because that's something they're trying to grow the AM scene. So,
I think it speaks volumes that you don't really see a lot of the pros really any going after Tashi, and there's a reason behind that. He's earned their respect, and when you think about it, in 2020, in a year of pandemic where we've lost Halo's like lifeline, which is live events, we have a tournament every week to play for, multiple tournaments every week to play for. That alone is like unprecedented in the Halo scene. Like, when can you think back in a period in Halo history where there was 3 tournaments a week to be able to just jump in and play? For a couple $100, like, so.
Right. I want to circle back around, because we've had APG here for a long time. I know he's a busy man, but Brad, before, we talked about the open tournament.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So
Yeah, two things. Yeah, two things.
So really quick for the you guys competed, you yourself, Lethal, Trippy, and Gilkey competed in the Halo Pro Series tournament this weekend, and y'all won, only dropping one game.
Thank you.
Good job. Obviously, you guys beat us along the way and ended up dominating in the finals. So congratulations on winning that and kind of getting that top spot back. And kind of tell the people watching the show, your plans with these Halo 3 tournaments, if you plan on playing all of them. I believe there's still like 7 or 8, however many left. And what are your objectives? Like, what's your goal? Are you trying to win every? I mean, obviously, if you're playing them, you're trying to win. But what's your thoughts on these Halo 3 tournaments, and kind of talk about why you chose to stay with Halo 3 rather than playing Halo 5? And then we're gonna let you go because you've been on forever. But
well, I decided to play Halo 3 because mainly it's on PC, and ever since I played on my PC back in Reach for the first time, that's like my first time playing an actual PC game and having like 144 hertz. I fell in love, and I do not want to go back to my old Xbox and Halo 5, and it just doesn't seem like I'm not on Sentinels, and to play Halo 5. Let me see if I can word this right. To play Halo 5 on console, and I would find a good team. I would find a team I believe would make it through. I'd probably team like Aaron or something like that, and be on that team. And but I would have to work so hard and focus and grind so hard to get probably top 4 or top 6 or something like that, top 8. I don't know how it works. I know 3rd, 4th, and it's 5th, 6th, something like that. But you wouldn't be making I would be making the same amount or more playing Halo 3 and winning every Halo 3 tournament. So that's kind of how I weighed it out, and I just was I will have a lot more fun. I have a great team in Halo 3, so I will have a lot more fun just playing Halo 3 and trying to win all of those tournaments and just actually enjoying myself in this time period, which is, I think that's very important. And I don't want to, if my team wanted to play Halo 5, I would play it, and I would just grind and try and work on that. But I haven't played Halo 5 in 2 years, and these people are already there's people that are playing that have been grinding.
Oh, bro, every single day.
Yeah, so I just wouldn't. It's just not worth it, and I just, like I said, not gonna have fun. And but Halo 3 is I love Halo 3. It's my favorite Halo. I could play it the day I die over and over again.
Chill. Brad, you played Halo 2, dog. I'm disappointed in you. You actually played Halo 2 at a high level, man.
Yeah, but Halo 3 is just
better.
I have
that's
Halo
where you
3
broke through,
on
bro.
PC. I have Halo 3 on PC with the update. I love the update.
Dude, I gotta say that update got me weak. It is so good.
I got on and played this week. It's nice. Hey, Brad, if you ever need a sub, I promise you I'm beaming still.
Bro, you can't play. We've been over this already, bro. We want to have the on my X team, but we can't.
I can play in the Fridays. I think I can play in the Fridays.
Okay.
But aPG, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, the man just, now on going into Halo Infinite with his new team, Envy. Thank you so much, Brad, for coming on the show and giving us some behind the scenes, stories and information, and just letting the people kind of hear your thoughts on everything. And congratulations for winning the Halo 3 tournament, but more so, congratulations on your new team with Envy. And we all on my X wish you nothing but success.
Absolutely.
And look forward to your journey, man.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I had a lot of fun.
I just got one thing
before we go ahead.
Let you go. By the next time we have a LAN event, I want you to get a haircut.
No,
grow it out, bro. Don't
listen to this man.
Hair.
You see his hair? You see Wes's hair? Just ask Wes to see his hair.
Help me help you.
You are not in a position to comment on my hair.
Absolutely. Let him know, Brad.
Blow. You can't. Don't say that.
Bradley, thank you so much for joining us, though, man.
All
right, Brad. Take it easy, man. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, Brad. We really appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much for coming on, bro. Much love. Nothing but love, dog. Take care of yourself.
Peace.
All right, boys. Let's try to close this thing out. I know we've been recording for a minute. We got to talk about Passion real quick. We got to do it real fast, Wes. Passion won Saturday's Halo 5 tournament. And they showed up and they freaking beat Sentinels today in the Esports Arena tournament.
Yeah.
Quick
Sentinels
thoughts around the horn. Go ahead, Wes. Go ahead. Yeah. And then Faisal, and then we'll get out of here. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you told me the Sentinels was going to lose to Nebula, Skeptify, Envor, and a fourth, I would have told you their fourth would have had to been Jesus. Instead, it was Booba Doobu. The series was 2-1.
It was 2-1.
2-1.
2-1. So best of threes. But still, They won a Slayer. They won an objective. I mean, they played by the format and the tournament rules, and they ended up knocking Sentinels out of the tournament. I don't put so much weight on it because it's not a best of 5. And that's where I think if every tournament was in the history was ever a best of 3, we would have seen a lot more upsets. But that being said, these guys came to play today, man. They were playing lights out. Nebula was playing phenomenal. Skeptify Envor was actually on point. And of course, they had Boobadooboo as their 4th in today's, where they got 2nd. Boobadooboo always going to play lights out. No surprise there. He's one of the best in the game. But the team came to play, and it was special to watch.
Yeah, I was following along, trying to keep track of you, Wes, because I was like, when are we doing On My X? And Wes is doing a show. And I saw that post about Passion taking on Sentinels, and I was like, man, from winning Saturday, like open tournament, to now knocking off Sentinels, like those dudes are riding a high this weekend, you know. So I got to give them a lot of love. I got to give a shout out.
Biggest wins of their career.
Yeah,
definitely. That's a big win. And like you said, in the best of 3, I definitely want to see them keep, winning the cup yesterday and in the finals playing against, Super CC, Scariotic, and obviously Commonly and Straight Stick are more established, but beating them in the finals of the open one yesterday is like, cool, congrats. Yeah. Beating Sentinels the day after is a big deal, but I think we do have to make it clear it was the best of 3. And I only say that because I'm excited to see new faces and new players come out and beat some of these juggernauts, and I hope to see them kind of continue that in a bigger kind of instance.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Yeah, shout out to them for winning yesterday, getting 2nd today, and also shout out to, I think their team name was The Last Dance.
Again, bro.
Renegade. It's The Last Dance, right?
It's never gonna be.
How many last dances are we gonna have? We're dancing every night, bro. It's a ballroom up in this Halo scene.
Every weekend we got another Last Dance.
Trippy, Renegade,
Eco,
and Saiyan.
Yeah, that's a nasty squad.
They took home first place today, so congrats to them. And I think that's about everything. I'm happy we got to talk to APG in depth as much as we did, obviously with Frosty coming on last week. And once again, if you guys haven't seen that episode, make sure to check it out. We had a great interview with Frosty, and this week, obviously, with APG, 2 of Halo's biggest names, and like the celebrities of the Halo scene, and Brad being. Both Brads being some of our good friends, it's been insightful hearing their side of things, especially
Absolutely.
APG today with the
APG went in some depth, dog.
That was good, man. That was so dope. I'm so glad to have him. That was a rad time getting to hang out with him. As always, guys, wrapping things up here. Tweet at us at On My X Show, or let us know in the YouTube comments below players you'd like to see on the show, man. I was pleasantly surprised having Brad, how much fun that was. It was a great time. Let us know, in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Help us out with that. Also, too, this weekend at On My X Show on Twitch, we'll be broadcasting the Pro series for Halo 5, so be sure to tune into the Twitch channel for that. That'll be in the description as well.
What time? Tell the people what
2
time.
2 p.m. PST. Thank you, Wes, for reminding me. 2 p.m. PST, we'll start our coverage of the Halo 5 Pro
Eastern.
Series for bracket play. Yes, Faisal, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. PST.
No one knows PST time, all right?
For
you gotta give them Eastern time.
For those of y'all in Texas as well, 4 p.m. for Texas, all right? 5 p.m. for the East, 2 p.m. for the West.
I live in Texas, and I don't even say Central. I consider it, and I say Eastern.
That's 4 o'clock in Memphis, Tennessee, for anyone.
It's 1 hour for you, Faisal. No big deal. But guys, such a freaking fun episode, man. Super stoked. Thank you, Wes, for setting that up with APG. Obviously, you got the connects, man. You make it happen. So let's go around the horn real quick. As always, Wes, let the people know where they can find you in your closing statement.
Wes_Clutch. Wes_Clutch. It's Wes Price with 2 E's, I think, on Instagram. Twitch.tv/InTheClutch. I haven't streamed in weeks, so I don't know why you would go there right now. But closing statements. Yeah, it was good to have APG on, right? I think we got a little insight into how team decisions go down and how chaotic they can actually be at times. That was super special, man. And a lot of people that don't know, like, it turns into that. I experienced that just about after every tournament in my career. So it's wild, and APG kind of gave you some insight into that. So I hope you enjoyed the show. Like Hunter said, leave some comments, maybe some, if you guys want to hear from somebody else, they're only a phone call away. You just let us know who it is.
We'll make it happen.
Absolutely. Faisal, let the people know where they can find you, brother.
Yeah, everyone, you can find me streaming. I try to do it every day. Lately, I've been kind of in a slump and haven't been going as hard as I should be, but I'm going to try to fix things up, get my schedule back in order. But you can find me streaming at twitch.tv/goofy, and you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/goofy with 2 G's. But not to sound like a broken record, but yeah, guys, we are, 11 episodes going strong, and we're going to continue to bring you guys an episode every single week. And
on what day at what time, Faisal?
Every Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern time.
4
p.m. Eastern time.
What
oh my God.
the?
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Why did I say? Okay, I don't know why I said. Oh, because we were doing the tournament broadcast at 5 p.m.
We've all been
Eastern.
drinking. Yeah. Anyways.
No. So yeah, you can 4 p.m. on every Monday when we come up with a new episode. But my point in saying that is, the support you guys have been showing us has been nice, and we really appreciate it. Just hearing from you guys and being able to connect with you and with the Halo community. So be sure to like the video, man. It helps us out a lot. Subscribe. Let your friends know if they like Halo content or podcasts like this. And let us know who you want to see in future shows, and we'll try our best to bring them on. But for me, that's gonna do it, Hunter. I think you got to give the people your info now.
Yes, sir. I do have to really quick echo what you said, man. You guys understand this guy Faisal working full time and finding the time to stream for you guys and finding time for On Max and broadcast. Like, nothing but love to him. So be sure to show him your love. Subscribe to the Goof Troop, growing every single day. For me, as always, Twitter, Hunter_JJX, twitch.tv, Hunter_JJX, streaming every day Halo content. This week I'm going to the beach for the first couple of days this week, but I'll see you guys around. The hunting party is always going strong. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel or follow the podcast depending on what podcast application you're using. Shout out to Wes for always handling that. Bringing you another episode of On Max, and for all of us, episode 11 signing out right here. Thank you guys for watching or listening. If you made it this far, we love y'all. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.